A thousand welcomes, y'all. So, my name is Chris Farah. Welcome to my channel. It's a early, breezy morning, March 7th. It's 8. Now, I have not uploaded this episode, and I wanted to film it last night, and I watched it finally last night, and then I couldn't film it. And honey, if you don't know, it's my birthday. Today, March 7th, is the day I was born 21 years ago. So I just need to get something up for you guys, and I feel really bad about it. And one of my best friends just landed from San Francisco. He's like in his Uber. You might see him at the end of this. So it's like I'm going to not pay attention to my peeps and even though I love you all for being here. And now, as I said, I'm not going to pay attention to you. I looked over there. Sabrina's there. Mia's there. Oh my God, so many people. And I love you so much. And God bless you. And I'll have time for questions. And I want you guys to talk. But I also just want to get through this great fucking episode. What a great episode. Okay. Here it goes. It starts with Clint and Tracy. So as we pick up, Tracy's in jail, and Clint is feeling very like savior white knight about it, like he's gonna just like be there for her, and he's gonna show her, honey, that men stay through it all. Okay. However, Clint has to go to his parents' house, which is always shocking because his parents are like, like normal, middle-class Christian folk, and Clint let it slip that they cut him off. So we know that they've been paying for him. He hasn't been just making all his Tracy money, hotel clerking or whatever. And it really like also begs a little more of like his parents know that he has issues, right? And they keep saying things like, well, you've never been, with a felon, or you don't want to have a felony on your record. But at the same time, like Clint's ex-wife, the one that he works for, she has an arrest record. And Clint has an arrest record. So, I mean, that seems kind of weird. The dad is actually in it. His name is Garrett. I never knew. And poor Alice this is a very emotional scene for Alice, honey. Alice was going through it. She's like, well, first when Clint walks up, like Bandit, which is hilariously Alice's dog's name, which is like how great. She's like, Bandit, don't you recognize Clint? Sorry, by the way, everyone's gonna sound like the same Southern person, like Angela, like, whatever. But like, it's more like, Bandit, don't you recognize Clint? It's a little more breathy than that. And she's just like, Clint, I wish you get a good looking Christian woman. They're out there and they would love you. Why are you messing with Mr. Tracy? I don't want to get between you and your wife. But, it's just like so funny. And Garrett, like Alice's husband's like, well, what's the deal breaker? Because if she comes out of prison and she's still doing meth, and and they're just like, yeah, like that would be a deal breaker. But Clint is very much like, if it's between picking my parents and picking Tracy, bye parents. So then, like Allison is trying desperately to get Clint to be like, you don't want a wife like this, Clint. And she's going through it. She's like, it's hard physically, it's hard emotionally, it's hard mentally, it's hard spiritually. It's very hard. It's a very complex situation. I wish they would just get annulled, like I said numerous times. And Clint can have his old red bedroom back in the palace that me and his husband live in, making money at the market, and that is just not the life Clint wants. And I also and started to think, I wonder what Clint's teenage bedroom looked like. Like Clint's 40-ish, right? So was it like Nirvana back then and like Smashing Pumpkins, or was it like, I don't know, was he like goth at one point? I could see him being goth, I also I'm obsessed with the way Alice says drug addict, which is a drug addict. Do you really want to be with a drug addict? Is my favorite thing. So then Clint leaves his parents, or I thought he left his parents. But really what happens is the minute he gets out of the front door, he looks and he's had like 2 missed calls from Tracy, and then Tracy calls him. I didn't realize this was his parents' house because what we saw was just like a brick wall and shitty lighting. It looked like he was about to do his first stand-up set. She's got jokes. It's in the morning. Um, and then we get this very tense call from Tracy where she's like, "Does your mom Alice think I'm a gold digger? Do your friends think I'm taking advantage of you?" Like, I don't know where she got this information from. Is it the producers are telling her that for drama? But like, this is not a good look, not a good conversation. Like Tracy's very tense. Maybe she's coming down. Maybe she's like, having I don't really know how heroin works, but I mean there's a period where you're like shaking and throwing up and stuff like that. So, it just feels like a very tense conversation start having with someone who literally opens the phone call with like, "I love you so much, my baby goddess, crack princess," whatever he does. Like he's like he just wants to be there for her, and at the same time, like she's pissed. And I think that she's just pissed because she tried to get a hold of him twice, and he was at his parents'. I have like such bad skin. I have no makeup on. Should I tell you that? Obviously, I have no makeup on. Okay, and also I got my eyebrows done in Vegas, and they took a little too much off. Okay. Um, so then Tracy's like, "I can't even deal with what I think is happening, which is that your friends think I'm using you. I've got bigger fishes to fry. Like I might be in prison for 20 years. I can't deal with this." And then Clint, again in typical Clint fashion, hangs up his phone and throws it and is like, "I threw my phone. Did you all see that I threw it?" And then of course it rings right away, and Clint has to be like, "Whoa," like get the phone. The phone's like in his like truck, and like picks up and he's like, "You always want to leave, and you're always making excuses to leave, and like I don't, like." And she's like, "I'm looking at 20 years," and then she's like, "Do you want to end it?" He's like, "Well, obviously you want to end it. You keep talking about it." And then she's like, "But I think that you just like, is this what you want?" And then like it's like a weird conversation of like who wants to end it, and then Clint just like hangs up and then is like, "There, fine, we're over. Are you happy? Are you happy?" He's like looking at the producer, "Are you happy?" And then I realized that he's still at his mom's house when Alice comes running up like, "Clint, Clint, are you okay? Clint." I'm gonna have to close my front door. "Clint, are you okay?" And Clint's like, "No, mom, we just broke up. Are you happy?" Everyone's happy. My relationship's over. And it's like, what relationship? Your relationship was just never in the beginning, ever happening. Oh, people are just banging. It's fine. This is my life. Okay, so tell me if the banging becomes too much and I'll shut a door. Brittany and Marcelino. Let's move on. Now I feel like it's very, very loud. So, um, Brittany and Marcelino are at Smart and Final, honey, shopping, baby shopping, and Marcelino is like putting things in the cart and is starting to realize that like he's gonna have a baby, to pay things for. He's like, "The baby has to eat three times a day, and we got to change the baby." And he, oh my god, give me a second. I'm gonna close this goddamn door. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so okay. So Brittany and Marcelino shopping. At one point, Marcelino like gets some diapers, like it's like a normal pack of diapers, and Brittany's like, "We need more." And he's like, "More than these?" It was like probably like 12, and Brittany's like, "Yeah, that's one day. That's one day of diapers for this baby." Okay, and then they have a conversation that I feel like is a little. It's like stage or like Brittany's like, like what made you not want to commit before? And like, how do you know I'm the one? Like, do you ever have any like reservations? He's like, "Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course I do." And then she's like, "Well, that doesn't make me feel good." I'm like, "With your seed." And Marcelina's like, "I'm just being honest." And then we get this thing where Brittany's like, "Well, I hope he's ready for a commitment, like because I've already, lived with him and this is what was this is like what's happening." And I'm trying to think. And then they decide to go on a date. Now, this is like, they say, like, it's our first date in downtown Vegas because their first date was also like in uptown Vegas. And, it's a big difference between uptown and downtown Vegas, honey. I know I was just there. But they go to Fremont Street, like, you can do a zip line, which Juan and I tried to do earlier this year. It didn't work out because it was very, very windy. Maybe if I get good, I'll like link that video, but you could just check it out if you wanted to. Anyway, they happen upon a street musician. No, a street magician. That's the word. And who's like, has some people like, doing hand sleight tricks. And then they walk up and he immediately is like, hey, you guys. Yeah, you guys. Why don't you come join us right here? And hi, what are you? Hi. What's your name? And Marcelino's like, Marcelino, and he's like, Marcelino, what a great name. What an interesting, great name. And what's your name? And Brittany's like, Brittany. And he's like, another just gem of a name. I've heard so many never times. Like, why don't you like come out, let's do a card trick. It's like he does like some card trick or whatever, but it's like a thing where they're holding a card in their hand and they think it's the six of clubs, and then he's like, oh, and then like he's like, now take your card, and it's like an ace of hearts, and then Marcelino like absolutely drops it, like is like, and it's like, oh, is that a weird like foreshadowing metaphor of what's going to happen in their relationship? I wonder. But then they're like, it was all fake or whatever, but then they're like, okay, let's do another one. And if I was like waiting around those people, I'd be like, can you move on to a different, more interesting couple, like, but whatever. It's like the magician's like, I bet you guys are a couple, to Brittany and Marcelino. And Marcelino's like, he must be a mind reader. And that Marcelino was like so happy to make that joke. Anyway, so then he's like, Marcelino, like, if you could give Brittany like one thing in the entire world, like think about it. And Marcelino's like, and then he puts his hand out. They put like a little cloth over it, and it's like, whoopoosh, and it's like a box ring in a box. So then there's Marcelino on a knee, honey, and Brittany is taken aback. She genuinely is like, you did it, you shocked me. Oh, this is good. And it was good. Like, I thought, I was happy for her, like Marcelino didn't set that up. That was producers, but that sharp producer, honey, that was Vegas in its finest. And I also feel like that magician is like, I could tell a little too good for street. I feel like he actually has a show somewhere. Only because he was so like, had such a good stage voice. Okay. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else about Brittany and Marcelino that I forgot? No, that's just like, I'm happy for them. She's pregnant. I loved her red dress. She's wearing red dress and black shoes, like black heels. And I was like, girl, she is teetering on those heels in Fremont Street, like, and I also wanted to know where they were going to go to dinner on Fremont Street. Are they going to go to somewhere in the Golden Nugget, like the Grotto? So many questions and not enough answers for me personally. Hi. Either way, love you so much for being here. So thank you. I'm just like, there's like 57 people here. There's 30 likes. I know I said I wasn't going to look at the comments, but I'm going to give you one little thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. I said thumbs it up. Okay. I love you. Thank you. Birthday thumbs up. By the way, this is going to be one of 2 lives today. This is just the live to get out all the love after lockup vomit I have in my mind. And then I'm going to go live later. I think it's going to involve my mom. Remember when you guys, I don't know, were you guys here when my mom came over and then she like played music on her guitar? My mom's a guitar player and we sang. That's going to happen later. She's very excited. Okay. So Caitlyn and Matt. Caitlyn and Matt, it was not a very much of them during this episode, and thank God. But what's happening is Caitlyn was like, after that like hard time with the grief counselor, and Matt, like, whatever, she left him, and then she like ended up going to a motel to like give herself some space, honey, with 2 pizzas, and she like in her jammies and glasses, which sounded great. Okay. And while she's in the motel, she gets a call, and the call is one of them calls. You are going to get a call from Matt, like in a jail, I don't know what for a little like voicemail they do. And she's like, oh, so Matt is now in jail, and the conversation isn't like, oh, babe, let me help get you out. What happened? How did this happen? It's more like, well, you done fucked up. Well, see if I pick up, and then just like immediately get mad at each other and just like hang up, which is, always, yeah, Caitlyn was just has too much to deal with Matt at this time. It was a bad time for you to get arrested, like, and also like, I'm surprised it took you that long to get arrested. It took Tracy like no time at all, honey. She's been arrested like 3 times since shooting started. And Matt, you've always wanted to go back to jail since the moment you got out, and it's been like 10 weeks. They are a boring couple. Let's get on to a better couple. Lizzie and Scott. Oh my God. Okay, so this is what happens. So she and him are gonna hang out, like, and it's been a minute, and she like hasn't told him about the bill that she made with her friend, like Mel, who knows what that girl's name is, but she like is like, I'm gonna make you prison pie. And I was so into watching this prison pie situation. And I think the travesty of the episode is we never saw the prison pie. All we got was that the frosting was going to be made out of Oreos. What else? What were the layers? What else was going to, I needed to see like, this is what I need. I need Lizzie to start a YouTube channel. Okay. And I need her to have some segments about what it was like being in prison, and they've done that already now, like all the short segments that happen in a Love After Lockup episode where it teases you like, we're back from commercial, and it's like 30 seconds, and we're like, just kidding, we're going back to commercial. Those times now, twice have been Lizzie. Once last episode when she was like getting a confessional, which is like, I stopped masturbating, and you get these like tidbits, where you're like, oh my God. So in the second tidbit of Lizzie, she's like, I owned 21 cell phones while I was in prison. That's how I got all the money, $18,000 or whatever she said. And this is how we hid them because we used to get body searches. They would tap us here, 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 and here, and here, but they wouldn't touch the part above my vagina. And that's where I'd hid the cell phone. And I think I know what she's saying. Like half of me is like, is it the one like kind of still in your vagina? Or is she saying like in between the lips? Or is she mean like in a fupa situation? And how small are the cell phones? And I mean, I just need more information. And I think if Lizzie had a YouTube channel, she could do that. She kind of reminds me of like, well, I'll tell you that later. Anyway, she's like, there's a lot of sex workers that have YouTubes that I'm interested in. Okay, so what happens is she's like, well, what have you been doing all day? To Scott, he's like, waiting for you. And then she like is like, well, okay, well, sometimes I have to hang out with other people. My daughter hates you, and so I hang out with my daughter. Doesn't talk about Mel. And she's like, and this has been really hard for me or whatever. And he's like, well, I can leave now. I'll leave right now and give you more time. And she's like, I can wait. I waited this long. I can wait another year. And she's like, wait for what? And he's like, well, just whatever. And she's like, are you thinking about sex? Oh, you're thinking about sex. And he's like, no, I'm fine. She's like, look right now in my eyes and tell me you don't want sex. And he's like, I don't want sex. And she's like, you looked away. Your eyes are doing crazy things. Okay, first of all, this manipulative bitch, just because you are a faux Christian woman or whatever the hell you're doing and saying that like you don't want sex or whatever, you do want sex. And also, how dare you make someone else live by your standard? Of course he wants sex. He's a man. Yeah, he wants sex. And it's not bad. And it's fine that he wants it. It's not, unless he's like literally trying to get it is like what the problem is. You can't get mad at someone for just wanting sex. I mean, it just seems, I just hated this conversation. So then she's like, your eyes are doing weird things, like, and he's like, what are my eyes doing? She's like, you look down. He's like, bitch, do you not remember when you looked down and we had the same conversation? It was fine when you looked down. And then she like kind of stops because she gets it. She got that Scotty got her, which is, Lizzie thinks she's so goddamn smart. Anyway, so then Scotty with his like, absolute honey boo boo flipper. It is like the whitest teeth. Oh my God. That is no longer there during the confessional. So you really, when he said those were not permanent, he really meant like they had a 3-day expiration date. I'm sure they don't know if they just like crumbled like anxiety dreams. Does anyone have dreams about their teeth? It's one of my anxiety dreams. Like they're like falling apart or peeling or like, I don't know, but that's honestly what happened to him. And I can't even imagine. Anyway, anxiety dreams, don't get into them. I also end up in another anxiety dream that someone gives me like in charge of their pets, and then I forget that I have their pets, and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't fed their pet in a week. Anyway, this is just okay, moving on. So Scotty walks out. No, wait. Scotty wants to walk out of the room and Lizzie's like, I'm walking out. So then Lizzie walks out of the room and like goes and starts to have like a confessional with the producer, like not nary down the hall. Like they must have like gotten this whole motel like rented out because it's like be very loud for any other guests. Okay. So then she's like, well, his eyes are doing weird things and I don't know what to do with like that. And then Scotty like gets out of the room and walks by her and is like, what are you talking about? Why are you talking shit? And like, it's really me what you're saying. What do you mean my eyes are doing things? Are you like, what are you saying? And she's like, and what? What am I saying? And then like Lizzie tries to manipulate this situation. She's like, just come back and talk to me. See, now you're talking to me. He's like, yeah, because now I'm pissed. And he's like, you always talk shit about me. And the minute I say anything at all, like you jump down my neck. And then it's like we finally see him have some balls where he's like, I'm done. And then you start to see Lizzie like be like, am I about to lose my trick? You know what I'm saying? And that was my favorite part of the episode, I think. There's a prison pie video. Okay, well, Joy, you're really doing the Lord's work, and I'm gonna click on it immediately. I'm like not even looking at my notes. Okay. It's just then it's just like Lizzie being like, he's acting crazy. And it's like, no, bitch, you're acting crazy. You are manipulating like a dumbass simpleton and everyone knows it. And you are so obvious, like. So anyway, when we have to deal with like the mini part of like her talking about cell phones, it's like being whatever contrasted with this like mini scene of her and Jasmine taking selfies, like they're okay now or not okay now, but they're both wearing pink. And she's like, teaching me how to do a duck face, Jazz. It's just like, I feel so bad for all these people. Okay, next couple, Megan, Michael, and Sarah. Well, honey, Megan is going to go visit Michael in prison because like once Megan gets on a plane, and that's why Michael made sure she wasn't on the plane the first time, but once Megan gets on the plane, she sticks to her plan. Okay. She's like, if he continues to get in trouble, we'll put a strain on my relationship. And he's like, well, why don't you look at his past? He's literally been in trouble for the past 12 years. So I don't want to just look into history and see how that's going to play out. And then we cut to Sarah's friend, what's her name? Emmy. And Emmy's bench pressing, honey. Emmy is like, watch out, Michael, honey. She's bench pressing. I don't think she shaves her armpits, which is totally fine. But all I'm going to say is at one point she's like bench pressing and then Sarah comes in, she gives her like a hug, like right there. And then I was like, that probably was not a fresh hug. You know what I'm saying? But Sarah's other fish to fry. Sarah's glasses are these Miami grandma glasses mixed with those J-Lo glasses from the 2000s. And I know she's wearing them because she's going to cry. I almost wish she was wearing more like black Coco Chanel's because, I mean, fake Coco Chanel's. But that's what's happening with Sarah. So then Sarah and Emmy talk, and guess what? Sarah knows that there's such thing as a Megan. And then guess who calls? And that's Michael. Like the same kind of like, you have a call from, prison system, blah, blah, blah. So then Michael gets on the phone and she's like, tell me the truth, Michael. I'm like, oh shit, I cannot do a Southern accent for this one. She's like, she starts like code switch, honey. Like she gets like very upset. And I realize now I get her when she does her black scent or whatever. It's not like, it is the black scent of specifically Black people from New York, which like Michael isn't even from New York. That's why he doesn't talk that way. He's from Flint, Michigan, but she's like very like New Yorkish about it or whatever. And that's what I've realized. I mean, like, not that it's a good thing, but like, I mean, she really goes from like 0 to 60 in the way she talks. She's like, tell me the truth. Did you go those 2 days when I didn't know where you were to Niagara Falls, the most romantic place on earth? And did you take Megan? And he's like, what? And she's like, tell me the truth. I deserve it. And then she's like, did you have sex with her? And he's like, why are you saying this? And I can't figure out why she's saying this, which then he says, like, is he talking to other people? Like, he goes in a third person. She's like, I know she's your other woman. Who do you love more, Michael? And he cannot answer that question. Well, of course he can. The answer is Megan at this time, but like, he doesn't want to do it, And she's just devastated. She's like, can't you answer that question for me? And then she's like, I promise I won't talk to you anymore. This is it. You are drawing it in the line. I will never talk to you again. I'm pregnant. And Michael's like, what? I mean, I hate to laugh. It is just good TV. Michael really doesn't have a reaction to "I'm pregnant" besides what? And then she's like, "I'm gonna get a divorce, and while you're in there, and I'm stronger than you think I am," and all this is done very much like in like a different accent that I'm using right now, but I just can't. She saw the emails, honey. She went through his tablet, like if you have iMessage, it's all there. You can go through emails. She just logged in. She didn't need his password. You know what I'm saying? Like she saw it all. She's talking to Emmy and she's like, yeah, I literally saw like pictures of our daughter and then a naked picture of Megan and then a video of Megan pleasuring herself that she sent to Michael. Must have been hard. She's really embarrassed. She's like, I've been made a fool of on national television. Like, tell me what to do, Emmy, whatever. And Emmy's like, not be with men, him, not be with him. Um, she's just like, tell me what to do, tell me what to do. And then she's like, I'm gonna go visit Megan. I know that she's still here. I know what hotel she's staying at because I know that they're like engaged and she's been looking for jobs. And Emmy's like, mind's blown. So then we have the scene where, well, we have um the scene where Megan is fine. Or no, Sarah is going to go confront Megan. That's what I've been waiting for. She gets like outside pigtail braids. I love that so much. And this is the part I wasn't expecting. A producer from the show sits down with Megan to like prep her for this. Like I thought they were just going to be like a knock on the door, and then like Megan might think it was like Caroline, like Michael's mom, to be like, oh, but like it was going to be like Sarah. But no, like a producer from the show sits down with Megan and is like, okay, Sarah wants to talk to you. She has some things she wants to let you know or whatever, and like tries to like paint it as like as least confrontational as possible. And then Megan's like, yeah, I'll talk to her. Sure. And then like the whole thing is like Sarah wants to be like, we're married. I have a kid on the way. Who do you think I am to him? And Megan probably thinks that she's just an old baby mama. And she's just probably thinking that like she's gels. I can't believe this conversation hasn't happened yet, but they're really milking it out. I mean, I can't believe that we've been knowing about this conversation for the past 7 episodes. Also, even in the like teasers of the show, they keep still talking about that old couple from season 1 that we just didn't see anymore. And it's just like weird, trying to think. I think I got it all. Yeah. So we finally are going to get their confrontation at the end of all this. And Michael is a weak pussy who's dumb AF and screwed everything up. And I think Lizzie's dumb too. It's like, I hate to say this, but Tracy, Lizzie, I mean, Brittany's like the only one Matt, Brittany is the only like good seed from the prison peeps in this one. All of the people that were in jail, like, I'm waiting for them to go back. They are either dead inside, like Michael, waiting to just be picked up because he can't live in normal society. Bananas sociopath manipulator like Lizzie that like thinks we can't all see that but is a narcissist. Or like Michael, who's also like a narcissist, right? Who thinks he can get away. I mean, who's a manipulative narcissist. The only thing is, it doesn't seem. I don't know about Lizzie. Like when Lizzie started talking about Scotty's eyes being crazy and stuff, I was like, are you on drugs? Like I can't tell if Lizzie's on drugs. And can someone tell me if Lizzie's on drugs? What they think? I think she is. I just think that she can hide it better than other people, Tracy. I just don't believe that she's sober. Just like I don't believe that she's Christian. At allsies wallsies. Okay, since I haven't talked to any of you, I just want to say hi and talk to you guys in the comment section for a minute. I love you so much for being here these past 30 minutes. Thank you so much for everyone who's been in this room and who's forgiven me a thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Well, thumbs it up. I said thumbs Sums it up. Up, up, up. Okay. Every time I sing the song, I'm like, I want to sing something different at the end, and then I'd always sing the same thing. I'm also low key waiting for my friend Mikey to come in, so I feel like you guys know what my life is like when I open the door. I feel like it's my like, who's here, neighbor? But I'll know who it is. It's my friend Mikey, or I'll get killed on live stream, but there'll be a record of it, and you guys can just like call the cops. On my birthday, I'll get killed. That seems real shitty. Um, People are drinking coffee and enjoying my voice. Ugh, I love you guys so much. People think that she is deaf on drugs, and I definitely feel that. Zena, I love you so much. Lizzie stays high. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, she does. I think so too. Um, yeah, I will absolutely do an edited recap of the next episode. Because it's my birthday, I have tickets to a play tomorrow night, Friday, so I can't, do a live watch party because people just want to hang out with me. You're having bulletproof coffee. Oh, I love that, Joy. Does anyone have an espresso? I use a Nespresso pod, and then I use this like almond milk creamer, and that is how I start the mornings, honey. Lizzie's killed so much brain things. Chris, my coworkers say hi, hello. Sorry, calls on hold. Ha ha ha. Sidley, hello. Everyone working wherever Sidley works, honey. I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day. Thank you for watching me. I'm so sorry I don't look pretty. I don't even put like Joy puts espresso in her brownies. Ooh, two birds, one stone. Later on today, like I've said, I am going to go live. It'll be just like a hangout, chill out live with my mom and maybe Mikey. I'm not quite sure, or maybe Monique if she's here. Like, I'm just like, come on, knock on my door. Just stop by and say hi. It's a birthday open house. So people are going to come in. I don't know who that is. I do feel like somewhat of a like Mr. Rogers neighborhood person. But when my mom gets here, yeah, she's like so excited to play guitar and sing. You know how she is. Loves that guitar. What did I do with my guitar? Ugh, I've been like rearranging my whole life. I don't even know where thing is. Um, let's see. Yeah, so oh look, you guys are saying happy birthday. That is so sweet. I uh that's so nice. Yeah. Just was born a couple of years ago on today, March 7th. What genre of music does your mom play? I would say mostly classic rock and she likes classic rock because she's like a child of that generation, and she's an amazing acoustic guitar player. So she like likes to take things down. She like rhythm and blues, stuff like that. You guys like my brows. Thank you. I appreciate it. Um you guys, I'm so excited. Just quickly, like I do have a great birthday weekend coming. So tonight I'm just gonna do it low key with my mom and my friend Mikey. He's also Lebanese, and there's this Lebanese food dish that I like. It's just comfort food. It's called imjadra, and it really is just rice with the little vermicelli noodles in it, burnt onions, crispy onions, and more burnt onions, just blackened onions and lentils, salt and pepper. Maybe like a dash of cinnamon, a little butter, but like not a lot of cinnamon, salt and pepper. And then I like to eat it with Lebanese. So my mom's just gonna like make me that. It's ugh, just like comfort food. And then tomorrow I'm gonna go see a play. And then oh my god, a super chat. Maxie, thank you. Oh, my birthday super chat. Happy birthday to me. And thank you so much, Maxie. When I say burnt onions, like blackened onions or like crispy onions. Not like, but to me, they look burnt. Thank you so much, Maxie. That is so sweet. Oh, Kalandra. Home from work. Yes. Fellow Pisces, Norman, fishies in the sea. That's what we are. And anyway, so Saturday, I'm doing a walkthrough with LACMA for the new Charles White exhibit, and Waz coming with me, and that'll be really, really excited. Caramelized onions. Thank you. That's the word I wanted to say. Love you all. And then Saturday night, I have like my lady dinner. I'm gonna have some people at my house beforehand, just for like a charcuterie board and some wine, and then we're gonna walk to a restaurant. And then Sunday, I have another brunch with other friends. And then Sunday night, honey, I'm going to crashity poo. Um, I really love enchilada. So if during the live, if we have it already made, I'll show you. It's so good. It's just like a Lebanese food dish. Oh, look at that Pisces sign. Yay. Which also low key looks like a 69 sign, but it's Pisces. Anyway, that's all I have to say, you guys. Come, big boss. Why aren't all being answered? Ha ha ha. Sorry, not sorry. Chris is worth it. Don't get in trouble. Keep that job. I feel like I should do like some sort of cooking demo. Maybe I'll do that. You guys, look how you're just accepting me in my like just messiest and finest. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I love you so much. I'll come back and do a live later on today, and I will do a filmed recap of Love After Lockup for the next episode. But yeah, just want to get my thoughts out there. Ada, you just got here. Is this a milestone birthday? No. It's like a normal number birthday. Like 23. Okay, booze. I'll see you later. I love you. Have a blessed and beautiful day from my soul to yours. I do feel like on your birthday you have like the universe is like aligned something because it's your birthday, and I feel like I have a lot of love coming my way from my friends and family for like starting today and for the rest of the weekend. So I'm going to give you some of that. I'm going to send it to you. I'm sending you some of the love and light that I am receiving cosmically from the universe right now for my birthday. I'm giving it to you. You deserve it. Oh my God, Shantina. Oh, I celebrate the big 40 in 10 days. Thank you so much for that birthday chat, but also happy birthday to you. Yeah, if your dad's birthday is next week. My dad's birthday is March 4th. That's why we went to Vegas. I'm very close. Okay, so yeah, so take my spirit, my birthday spirit with you today. Come back for my live tonight if you can. Thank you so much for all your patience and me not putting up this video yet. It was only because in Vegas I got no Wi-Fi, and then I was just hanging with my dad, and then his power went out, and so I had to wait till I got home. It was just like a comedy of errors. Okay, I love you so much. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you later. Show socks, honey. I'm not wearing socks. Hot cocoa bang bang. Oh God, everyone's living on a Pisces. I really wanted to be here I really wanted to keep going until Mikey walked in. But he's just taking his time, honey. Oh, you know what? He sent me his lift. Do people do this where they send you the lift to tell me where it is? He should have been here by now. Michael will arrive in 14 minutes. No. Okay, honey, we can't go that much longer. Okay. Love you, love you, love you. Kiss your feet. Show your feet. That's not this kind of channel. Okay. Awkward pose while I end this. Love you all. No, I don't know why no, that can't be the pose. It has to be like